We have breaking news now just into our newsroom. It is a high-speed rolling hostage situation on I-5. Action News reporter Frank Simpson is following the story, and he joins us now live on the phone. Frank.
That's right, John. We're involved in a high-speed chase southbound on I-5. Now, this all originated around Center Parkway in Sacramento, in which a woman was allegedly kidnapped by a man. He forced her into her BMW and made her drive down Laguna and onto I-5.
Southbound or south on 101 to prevent it from going any further, but you see the northbound traffic on the left-hand side of your screen is continuing to flow, and a bunch of cop cars following this burgundy BMW that has been going down 101 now for probably 15-20 minutes or so after going over the Bay Bridge. To take you back to how this started, about 7 o'clock tonight, shortly before, a man jumped in the car around the area of Mack Road and Center Parkway. He was very irate over something, made the woman drive down I-5. As we said, started in the area of Mack Road and Center Parkway. Action News reporter Terry Hardesty is on the phone in that area of Sacramento, where it all began. Terry.
Well, John, we spoke with the victim's brother just a couple of moments ago. He's standing outside of her house, obviously very concerned. And what he told me was that the suspect is her boyfriend, and that he appeared, he grabbed her, held a gun at her and her roommate's head, and then grabbed the girlfriend, former girlfriend, took her in the car, and then the chase began with the police. He told me that she had a restraining order against him, and that he had been a problem for quite some time, and that he is now very, very concerned about her safety because he too knows the person. He told me that the victim's name is Angela Bry, 27-year-old Angela Bry. She is a school teacher here in the area, and she has just been living here for about 9 months with her roommate. So obviously a lot of concern here. He's standing outside the house, and we'll keep you up to date as soon as we get more information.
Terry, did she know specifically what may have set him off? Specifically?
Well, she had a restraining order against him, and the brother said that he had been out here numerous times prowling around, harassing her. He had just been a problem for a long time, according to the brother, and it's just been an ongoing process. Did
he at all get the impression that this man may have been drinking or may have been under the influence of something when this started?
The brother was not here. The brother doesn't live here. He came after the fact to the house, and he is just getting information as he hears it. So he was not here at the time. Don?
Okay, Terry Hardesty live on the phone in Sacramento. The chase now, southbound 101 near Redwood City. It has gone below the airport. There you see the vehicle weaving around. It's on the right-hand side of that semi there, cutting back over into one of the other lanes, moving along with a variety of police agencies in pursuit, as they have been for the past about 2 hours and 10 minutes. It is continuing to go, as we heard. It is a man who may be upset over an ex-girlfriend. We had heard from friends that there may have been a restraining order in place, and that this person showed up, brought a gun, forced her into the car, and the chase was on. It's been going on, as we said, for slightly more than 2 hours. It started in the city of Sacramento, down I-5 through Stockton, over 580, back up toward Oakland over the Bay Bridge, and now we are heading down Highway 101, getting close to San Jose now in a matter of half hour or so. Frank Simpson back on the phone live. Frank.
All right, they're now crossing Poplar. Anyone familiar with the Redwood City area? They were still southbound 101. They have been flowing and then speeding up and slowing and speeding up again. A little bit of more radical driving than before, where they were maintaining a high-speed profile for most of the trip. The traffic on 101 not too bad this evening, so the police are staying in this pursuit. They're not dropping off at all. They're going to stay in this one until the end. For a minute there, we thought they may be exiting the freeway. They changed from the number 3 lane over to number 2, and then back to 3. They've been veering around a little bit, but still, this chase is in full force here in Redwood City. John?
Do you have any idea whether or not the hostage negotiator is still on the phone talking to this man?
As far as we know, yes, he still is. He was talking to his dispatch officers in Sacramento for a brief period of time. Then he said, okay, now I'm going to call him back on the phone. I'm going to get him back online again and talk to him some more. So as we understand it, that the negotiation is continuing. So far, no more gunshots since the last time we spoke.
Okay, yes, and updating, yes, we have heard reports that there were gunshots. He had threatened, we understand, to fire shots if cops got too close, and he had allegedly threatened to fire guns out the window at other vehicles if the police got too close. This all from reports we were getting as this thing first started, and we have heard that, yes, shots have been fired, but do not know the nature of those, or if the woman inside has been wounded, or these were just fired outside discriminately. Right now, again, going down Highway 101 South below the airport toward Redwood City. It's a chase that's been going on now for more than 2 hours. A hostage negotiator has been in contact with the man in the car, we believe, has been holding a gun at this woman, threatening her. As you can tell, it might be difficult from the helicopter shot you're watching, but the speed of this chase has definitely picked up, and there you see the one police vehicle moving in toward the car that's now in one of the middle lanes right in the center of your screen. The car in pursuit now on the left-hand side.
Unless you want me to stay with you. Roger that.
You have to wonder if any of these other vehicles are listening to any of the radio stations around San Francisco, if even they know what is going on, or if some of them have gotten out of the way because they know trouble is heading down 101 right now. We do not know whether or not police know how much fuel is in this car, whether they were able to get that information out of him by talking to him on the phone. Okay, now it could get fairly interesting soon there near Foster City, and it could reach a point where the gunman could decide to make the woman cross back over the San Mateo Bridge and back in toward the valley. That has not happened yet. They have not reached that point, but that is another possibility. Obviously, when this is going on, you have no idea what's going through this person's head, where he may make this person go, and what he may do to elude police at this point. Obviously, it's a very desperate situation, and it's one of the police are trying to anticipate it as well, and it's actually one of the worst moments for police officers in high-speed chases because they don't know what's going to happen, and they have to make sure that they don't hurt anybody else in the process, including themselves. Now, as you see, the car is moving over toward the right-hand lane. Now, whether that means he is intending to exit at some point or not, but there he is weaving back and forth. Chase is down near Ralston Avenue. We understand they have passed the cutoff where he could have taken the San Mateo Bridge. That did not happen, so we are continuing now on Highway 101 South, getting closer and closer to San Jose, or the San Jose area, depending on which way he wants to go. The Bayshore Freeway obviously can be a very, very congested freeway. We're about an hour or two beyond rush hour in San Francisco, so it's certainly not as bad as it could have been, but that is not to say this is not a very dangerous situation. We heard from one of our photographers, Terry Haggart, that a few vehicles did swerve out of the way. We don't know if there were any serious accidents along the way, although we do know that from reports that the man inside had fired shots outside, warning shots of some type. Now going for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. The police had hoped to get him at the toll plaza going over the Bay Bridge. He apparently slowed down, and it may have been a case where the police thought that they had him, but we heard that the driver gunned it, probably under orders from the gunman. The driver gunned it and was able to elude them and go over the Bay Bridge now into the Peninsula area. Let's check back in with Frank Simpson live on the cell phone. Frank.
Okay, John, traffic has started clearing remarkably here down 101. It's easing up considerably, so I'm going to anticipate that that's why the police are hanging in more tenaciously than ever this evening, because they probably predict that there's not that much danger to the drivers out here tonight, other than that random shooting that we were hearing about a little bit earlier. But the chase still in full swing tonight, and as I understand it, Terry, our reporter, Action News reporter Terry Hardesty, did release the woman's name. Angela has had a history of domestic violence with her ex-boyfriend, and apparently those are the people that we're dealing with tonight. The woman named Angela, who's driving the burgundy BMW, and her ex-boyfriend, who allegedly has a loaded handgun pointed at her ribs right now and forcing her to drive erratically on this unusual and highly dramatic chase that unfolded in South Sacramento and is now heading toward the South Bay.
Where exactly are you right now, Frank?
We got caught up in the toll bridge. Unfortunately, we had to pay the toll rather than shoot through just like everybody else did. So we're at the airport now and headed down in that direction. We were about 3 miles or so behind. We had visuals on the lights ahead of us, but now we're going to have to play a little bit more catch-up to get right back into the chase, John.
I'll do it safely. You're looking at the live video right now. It does appear that the speed has picked up a bit. It also looks like, I could be wrong, but it looks like the roads may be a little slick from rain and the fog and whatnot that has been moving in here, which could be a factor in the chase and could make it even more dangerous than it already is. Again, we're still on Highway 101 South, below Ralston. It is below the San Mateo Bridge, moving toward the South Bay area. We had heard reports earlier that at least a shot was fired from the vehicle. But the man, the suspect, appears that it has exited and it has left Highway 101. So this is could be a moment of truth coming up here that this car has gotten off the freeway and is now heading on surface streets. Will provide an entirely new, interesting, and perhaps more dangerous portion to this chase. You're looking at continuous live coverage of this high-speed chase that's been going on for more than 2 hours. As best we can tell, this is in the Redwood City area, in the Marsh Road area. You see that spot is from a police helicopter keeping an eye on this situation. The photographer trying to refocus here to get his or her bearings again, and then we'll... what appear to be backyards and planters and whatnot in the middle of the street. The car has just taken a right-hand turn and gone deeper into this area. We do not know if this is just random or this person knows where he is going. The car has stopped. See somebody walking out from the car, walking away. We don't know what's happening next. He appears, or the person appears to be alone. Obviously, we are waiting for this to hopefully come to a peaceful conclusion. If we can, let's go back to Action News reporter Terry Hardesty, who was in Sacramento where all of this began. Anything new you can tell us, Terry?
Well, John, I'm standing in front of the house where the victim was taken at gunpoint into her own car and forced to drive. I spoke with her brother just a few moments ago, and he says that the suspect is her boyfriend and that she had a restraining order against him, and he had been a problem for some time. She had been very scared about him. In fact, she had lived with her brother for a period of time because she was so frightened, and he was known to come around here, according to the brother, and prowl around and always harassing her at the time. But he says that the boyfriend pulled up. She lives here with her roommate, pointed a gun at both of them and forced the victim into the car. He described her as 27-year-old Angela Bry. She's been living here.
Has just turned dangerous in an entirely new type of way. As we said, this started at about 10 minutes to 7 tonight in South Sacramento near Mack Road and Center Parkway when the man, we are told, grabbed his girlfriend, forced her into her car, put a gun in her ribs, and made her drive down I-5 over 580 and into the Bay Area. Action News reporter Terry Hardesty has been following the story, and she joins us now live from that Sacramento location.
Well, John, this is the house where the victim was taken at gunpoint and forced to drive in her own car. When we arrived here, her brother was standing outside the house, obviously very nervous, very concerned for his sister's safety, and he described what he saw.
Threatened my sister and her roommate, and he had a gun to both of them's head and threatened to kill both of them, and forced my sister to the car and took off.
Now, Bry tells us that his sister had a restraining order against her former boyfriend and that he had been a problem around here for a long time, that she was very fearful for her safety. In fact, she lived with him for a time because she was very concerned. And we're also told that by police here tonight that the suspect actually had the girlfriend and the roommate in the house here for about an hour before he actually got in the car. Back to you, John.
Is there any more information on what he allegedly wanted to accomplish tonight, what his plan was?
There's absolutely no word on that at this time. Obviously, she had a restraining order against him. He was angry. He was out here. He was prowling around, had been a problem for a long time, allegedly. Back to you.
All right, you're in the neighborhood right now. Are people congregating, or are they all inside watching to see what's happening?
No, it's amazing. Actually, it is very quiet out here tonight. Normally, when you come to a crime scene, there are many people out wandering around looking to see what's going on, but absolutely nobody out here tonight. Very quiet, everybody inside their homes. Back to you.
Terry Hardesty reporting live in South Sacramento. Thank you. Again, updating the situation, the rolling hostage incident, which began in Sacramento, is now in the Bay Area in Atherton. The man who took the woman hostage, made her drive to the Bay Area, has now, police say, taken 3 additional hostages in the home at the end of the street. He has barged in, grabbed 3 more hostages, and now the SWAT team from San Mateo County is either on the way or is there and is now trying to defuse the situation again after the high-speed chase down Highway 101 and into Atherton. That is the latest. We will have a complete report tonight on Action News at 11. And, of course, if anything changes, we will break into programming to bring you the very latest, and we will join the movie where it left off so you do not miss anything.
This has been a